What is going on, cryptocurrency investors? My name is Landon. Welcome to Crypto Review Central. On this channel, you can find daily cryptocurrency videos that cover a wide range of topics. This channel is evolving into a more advanced look at these cryptocurrency markets, so keep it locked right here to keep yourself up to date. We are always having a look at this diverse cryptocurrency market and all of the assets' respective prices. Recently, we gave you an asset review on Graft, which is a revolutionary idea that connects point-of-sale systems to the blockchain. And prior to that, we investigated millennials almost preferring cryptocurrency over traditional means, that being fiat currency. Today, the cryptoverse is abuzz with talk that Bitcoin might be nearing its bottom and a ton of positivity coming from Mike Novogratz at Bloomberg, as well as Morgan Stanley jumping into cryptocurrency, or reported to be doing so in the very near future. Starting with the CEO of the largest crypto firm on Wall Street, Mike Novogratz, who runs Galaxy Digital. They invest directly into crypto businesses, from ICOs to infrastructure platforms to wallets and custody solutions. The market is up across the board today, with Ethereum being up double digits. EOS also doing well, as well as Bitcoin Cash, and then Monero and Cardano are next in line, along with Tron up 8%, which is a welcome change for those TRX holders. Novogratz tweeted an image of the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index, which gauges the ups and downs of the biggest cryptocurrencies that are traded in US dollars. He tweeted out with the hashtag calling a bottom. He thinks the market put a low in yesterday, retouched the highs of late last year, and the point of acceleration that led to the massive rally and bubble. Markets like to retrace to the breakout. We retraced the whole of the bubble. So he's calling for a bottom in Bitcoin. And he's definitely not the only one today that's reporting positive sentiment. A number of publications have reported that there's a lot of bullish activity and good promise in the crypto markets for the short term, with Morgan Stanley jumping into the mix, which is just another big name to add to the list of companies that are getting on board into this market. And of course, there's always the proponents like John McAfee and Tom Lee, as well as Mike Novogratz, that are calling for a big all-time high in Bitcoin. Some are giving very specific dates associated with these runs, but the majority of them are just sharing the overall idea that this market is poised to completely take off and change the very paradigm that economics is built upon. Also, a couple of weeks ago, Vitalik came on and talked about what is loosely known as diminishing returns in cryptocurrency. The idea that a lot of these assets have already seen their 3-figure and sometimes even 4-figure gains, and that a lot of them are approaching their ceiling. Justin Sun of Tron and CZ of Binance both disagreed with that sentiment, with Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, better recognized as CZ, has said that crypto still has a lot of room to grow by more than 1,000 times in the years to come. A lot of people like to compare this current cryptocurrency market with traditional markets that it somewhat resembles. It is a completely different beast and will behave differently as well. Given the current rate of development, it's expected that this market will grow substantially. Of course, there's a lot of confounding variables that are at play here, such as potential developments in overtaking fiat, as well as some of these industry-specific solutions that are being developed in blockchain 3.0 and 4.0. The future remains very bright, but if Bitcoin or any other asset can really start to take on fiat currency, we're going to see a complete shift, and that would completely change the game and completely change Vitalik's outlook. I think it's also worthy to note that Vitalik said the majority of the world already knows about crypto and their decisions have been made. I think that's a very, very naive and egocentric approach. Of course, the people that are involved in Vitalik's everyday life are very well versed in crypto. He's probably not exposed to very many people that don't know about crypto, but cryptocurrency remains very much a first world phenomenon right now. Unless you're being specifically touched by what Bancor is doing in Kenya, or a number of other assets are trying to develop in developing nations, the vast majority of this world does not know about cryptocurrency. And that in and of itself gives it an exponential growth potential. To say that the majority of the world knows about cryptocurrencies just kind of dumbfounds me, because the vast majority of the population on this planet does not live in a developed nation. So it would be very egocentric to assume that they do. Otherwise, the big news is Bloomberg's article on Morgan Stanley jumping into crypto. And like I said, it adds to the list JP Morgan, Chase Bank, Bank of America, and a handful of other companies, including the Intercontinental Exchange, who owns the New York Stock Exchange, are all jumping into the cryptocurrency markets in one way or another. Some are even trying to compete with what Coinbase is offering in custody services, and all that's going to do is add more competition to the space and more development. Starting, of course, with John McAfee. Love him or hate him, he's standing by his claim of Bitcoin hitting $1 million. With or without his male appendage, which by now you would think he has have to have eaten, because very few of his predictions have come true. He'll be the first to proclaim that he's never wrong if one of his predictions is right, or that his predictions are just that and you're a moron if you thought he was going to be right, if he in fact ends up being wrong. John McAfee recently told AMB Crypto that Bitcoin is the only leader in the cryptocurrency markets. And he also recently claimed that by 2020, Bitcoin's price should reach $1 million. If we look at the market from a mathematical perspective, this detail can be concluded from growing records of the amount of Bitcoin mined and the difficult processes it involves. Taking this into account, the crypto magnate induced that in the near future, the number of Bitcoin allocated per each new mined block will decrease by half, from 12.5 to 6.25 per block. McAfee was quoted saying, "Why don't we look at the last Bitcoin? We have thousands of people to mine one coin. What is that coin going to be worth? Maybe millions." Mathematicians don't lie. Say what you want, mathematics doesn't lie. If it's not $1 million in 2020, it has to be. The end of 2020, December. That's my prediction. I'm going to stand by it. It is the #1 coin for processing transactions. Run the numbers. John McAfee will be one of the speakers at the Malta Blockchain Summit 2018, set to take part on November 1st and 2nd. I'm sure there are many cryptocurrency enthusiasts like myself that will tune into whatever insanity McAfee brings that day. McAfee isn't alone in thinking this way. Big names like Tim Draper and Tom Lee also feel that Bitcoin has yet to see its all-time high. So that leaves the average Joes like myself quite hopeful for what the future has in store. At the very least, it will be entertaining. And not necessarily putting all my eggs in one basket, that being Bitcoin, but putting the majority of my eggs into cryptocurrency. And really hoping for something even somewhat similar to what happened in late 2017 to happen again. Publications may be reaching at straws, but optimism still slithers through social media and on publications like this one, CryptoPost.com, as well as forklog.net, both talking about positive activity in Bitcoin's price, saying that the Bitcoin long-term trend remains bullish. I somewhat disagree, as the price continues to reject the 6K support level. The most recent bounce off the support occurred on the 10th of September, and this is exactly when the new Fibonacci time zone cycle has started, according to CryptoPost. Prior to that, the price has broke above the downtrend and retraced back up to the 6K support. Fibonacci applied to the corrective wave down after the trendline breakout could help determine the upside resistance levels. If the massive support at 6K holds, Bitcoin could be starting yet another bullish run right now. But there is huge resistance that must be broken first, and it's the huge 10K psychological level, which corresponds to the 161.8 Fibonacci retracement level. Break above that, and it should be the confirmation for further growth that might result in a strong bull run. They've indicated the resistance levels to watch is 10K, 12.5, 15, 17.5, and 20K. That's super optimistic and honestly isn't really even on my radar. Let's focus on 7K and 8K before we even think about 10, let alone 17.5 or 20K. It's a bit ridiculous. And like I said, in my opinion, this article is more reaching at straws, trying to draw positivity where there may not really be any, and carries very little weight in my opinion. Doing your own research is of paramount importance, and making your own logical conclusions is even more important. While Forklog, which is a publication I've never seen before, reports a similar story that bullish sentiment is returning to the crypto markets, and specifically is referring to Morgan Stanley. Why all of this positivity, you might ask? Morgan Stanley is primarily the reason. This newfound bullish sentiment comes at a time when news broke out that Morgan Stanley is considering starting Bitcoin trading for its clients. The report first appeared on Bloomberg, according to the publication's sources, who asked not to be identified because the information is private. Investors will be able to go long or short using the so-called price return swaps, and Morgan Stanley will charge a spread for each transaction. Down but not out, as the article says. I can't accurately say whether this bit of positivity will be cause for a rally in Bitcoin. However, stranger things have happened before. All we can do is continue to monitor these markets and continue to dream about a better tomorrow, all powered by blockchain. There's always so much happening in this space, whether it's some of the CEOs of top assets in this space like Vitalik going on and saying we are hitting a cryptocurrency ceiling, and assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the top 100 really that aren't entirely new have already hit their ceiling and are going to experience what I would call the law of diminishing returns. Then we have Morgan Stanley coming on board, along with Binance CEO publicly refuting what Vitalik said. In my opinion on that, there's so many confounding variables, and the game is going to change so many times over between now and then that it's hard to really say if this market has hit a ceiling. Nobody really expected the big bull run we got last year, so I would assume that nothing is for sure. All we can do is continue to monitor these markets, and that we will. Keep it locked right here at Crypto Review Central for all of your cryptocurrency news and relevant information. If you've made it this far, make sure to hit that like button. Comment something of value, because hitting the like button and commenting, otherwise known as engaging with us, will allow us to hit our first like threshold for our giveaways, and I will be giving away Bitcoin every single video. So make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of our content. Thanks again to the CRC crew for all of your continued and ongoing support. So many anomalies are present in this market. Don't panic, don't make impulsive, rash decisions. Make sure to do all of your own research and assess that research accordingly. Keep calm and hodl on. And until next time, everyone.